Eyes up, Guardians, the Rise of Iron raid is finally out, and it's time to put the Fallen and Siva in their places. The raid starts off with a bang this time, putting you into a boss fight right off the bat. When you and your fire team load into Wrath of the Machine, your first spawn will be on the inside of a derelict ship. Around this area are 3 rising pillars of light, as well as collecting stations. One on the left, one in the middle where you spawn, and one on the right. The objective of this part is to gather voltage from the pillars of light to charge yourself up, and then dunk the energy on one of the stations to charge them up. Completing this will get you into the damage phase. The charge is shared across all the stations, so you don't need to get all of the meters filled individually, and it doesn't actually matter which one you run to when you have a charge. As soon as someone steps into the light, the fight begins and the boss spawns in the far end in the middle. The strategy that we found the best luck with was to have 2 people running to gather charges, 1 person each at the left and right stations, and 2 people in the middle, with one of the players being flexed and going to locations as they need help. Every now and then, large shanks called voltage eaters are going to spawn and make their way to the charging stations. Destroy them before they do, because if they get within their station's circle, they'll begin draining your charge. If you're not careful, this can actually be a pretty big setback. At the start, both of the runners should set out on different sides, one going right and one going left. These are your home sides, and your home station is the one that you'll go to during the damage phase. You don't necessarily need to do this, but it can make things cleaner during damage when everyone just needs to head home, and it also lets the runners start off with a guaranteed full charge most of the time. Remember to pay very close attention to where Vosik is and if he's about to teleport. His melee's pretty strong, so you want to try your best to avoid his range. If you're not careful, there's also a chance he can kill you when he teleports to where you're standing. Remember to pay attention to your voltage rising charges on the left of your screen. You need to gather 4 stacks, and each stack refreshes a 14-second timer. If at any point that timer reaches 0, you'll die. Everyone should also be paying attention to the meters on the stations. After a bit, you'll be able to tell if the next dunk is going to be enough to enter the damage phase, and you can let the rest of your fire team know so they can get ready. I also think that the runners should really be doing their best to not fight anything, at least until it's damage phase, so that the charge can build up as fast as possible. But of course, don't be afraid to help out with a voltage eater if it comes down to it. You may find that having the runner kill stuff as they go works. That worked for a couple rounds for us, but we ended up sticking with the runner just focusing on running. Once the meters are all nice and filled up, damage phase will begin. The stations that you've been charging up will start to spin, and they'll pop out these red orbs called Siva clusters. These clusters serve as bombs to damage Vosik, and they disappear after a short time. The runners and Flex should get to their home stations, and everyone should get to work. Here, everyone needs to pick up Siva clusters and throw them at Vosik to lower his shields. Every shot counts, and the more direct the hit, the more damage it's gonna do. Once his shields are down, just start unloading into him and get as much damage in as you can. If there are any clusters left, hit him with them for a lot of extra damage. Once damage is done, you'll repeat the cycle until you lower Vosik to about 10% health, at which point he flees into the dungeon and you can actually enter the raid. Shortly after you enter, there's a Siva cache. You can open this with the Siva key for loot. It doesn't really seem like amazing grabs, but it's certainly not awful. 10 of the Siva key fragments that you're likely to get can actually be used to make a cache key, which is used for chests like this one, or you can use the shards to upgrade gear. After that, there's a little jumping puzzle, which I'll be posting a guide to soon. That's it for this guide, Guardians. Up next, we'll go through the short jumping puzzle, and then after that, the next boss. Thanks for joining me for this video. I hope you enjoyed. If you did, please remember to leave a like and subscribe for more. If you didn't, or you found it lacking in some way, then please feel free to leave a dislike and leave a comment down below to let me know what you thought it was missing. Thanks again, I'll see you next time. Bye!